Wow, meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Amazing.
Fancy.
Okay, right, let's make a start, folks. So this is the very first Open Life Science graduation final presentation call. Welcome, everybody. So this is the culmination of, 15 weeks where we've been working together with all of our Open Life Science mentees and project leads with the amazing help of our mentors and expert guest speakers. So today we have Anunya and David who will be presenting on AMRITA. Before we make start, there's a few little bits of housekeeping details that we have. So first of all, as we were discussing before, I pressed the record button. This call is recorded. And also we have a code of conduct with Open Life Science. So that means basically, as a general rule, treat each other well, with respect, and the way that you would like to be treated by someone else, wherever these interactions might be, whether it's online, on video, or anywhere else. If you feel like there are at any points, any times when you either feel like you have been treated in a way that isn't in line with the code of conduct, or whether you've witnessed someone else who's done the same, then you can report this either to myself or to Malvika or to Berenice, or to team@openlifesci.org if it's a broader report. So it's better generally to report to the entire team, but if there's something with one of us specifically, then it's easier to approach us directly. So we have a short section in our notes here, just talking about new contributors. If there's anyone exciting you'd like to highlight, I've just highlighted this in the notes, the Friends of OLS sections. If there is, let's say, someone you've been working with, a new contributor to your project, then feel free to add notes there. But you can come back to that later as well. And is there anything else I should be adding before we head to the final presentations, Malvika?
All good from me.
Awesome.
Just to mention that I will be taking some notes and I'll be asking a couple of good questions at the end.
Amazing. Okay, so without further ado, Anunya, David, I believe you're both presenting. And so over to you.
Sure. So I will start to share the slides now. Where is it? Could you see the slide now? Not yet?
It's thinking about it. It says you've started screen sharing. Oh, I think it's just stopped. And started again. Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So hi everyone. So this is AMRITA. So AMRITA and our OLS journey. So let us start. Wait, how to click next? Okay. So a little bit about us. AMRITA came from a Sanskrit language, which means immortality and longevity, basically. It's an ancient kind of word. So our team joined OLS like from 15 weeks ago. It consists of Ananya, she's an immunologist, and also a dentist in training. She's right now in Thailand, based in Mahidol University. So as for myself, I'm David. I'm actually an Indonesian, but right now I'm having my PhD in molecular virology in Japan, and I'm also a pharmacist before. So probably Holger will be familiar with this word, apotheker. I don't know. Is it right, Holger? Well, okay. So, oh, it's right. Great. So let's move on to the next slide. So basically our project is about medicinal plants. So we want to contribute, of course, the main theme is open science, and then we decided which specific topic will we address, and then we decided to touch a little bit on about the medicinal plants. So medicinal plants, currently we call it the traditional medicines. So it stands between the voodoo science and modern medicine. What does it mean? So it is not completely a voodoo science, because we know that it has some effects. It has some pharmacological effects. It has the curing effects or protective effects if you use it right. However, compared to the modern medicines, which has the direct effect to a certain indication, we could not yet point out is the medicinal plant, in this case the traditional medicines, has the exact efficacy to modern medicine. So let's move on to the examples. So probably we show these at least 3 kinds of plants and its most abundant substance inside the plant, as we can see in here. So basically, since probably, I don't know when, actually, the first medicine it's likely to be acetylic acid. So it's a painkiller. So it's from a kind of like willow or something. So basically, that's how we got our first medicinal substance from a plant, and then further and etc. Okay, let's move on to the painkiller. So probably this one is very famous. So this is morphine. Morphine derives from the plants of Papaver somniferum. So yeah, it's a strongest painkiller that we have right now. And also digoxin, a digitalis purpurea, and also Artemisia annua. So the compound is artemisinin actually. We use the Artemisia as the antimalarial drugs, and I think it won the Nobel Prize. I don't know when, but I think it's like 5 or 10 years ago. I couldn't, maybe around 5 years, 5 to 10 years ago. So so what I want to say is, if we could extract a particular substance from a plant and isolate it, become a single substance or purify it, etc. It's a very, very long process. We will get the exact pharmacological activity or the efficacy of that certain kind of drugs. But the point is, there are many plants that being used natively. So you just pick up the herbs or pick up the leaves or barks or whatever it is, and you can use it immediately. And we know that traditionally it was being used to cure a disease. So that's how the medicinal plants grow in the civilization, basically. Okay. So so what is AMRITA? Now we move into the AMRITA. So because this is like pseudoscience, people are a bit confused. So should we believe in this traditional medicine or not? Basically, that's the question. So we want to address this question to become a pool, a place where all the biologists, chemists, and clinicians, basically the science people, and another group is the general publics, and another one is the investor. So we want to become like the pool where everyone could join and to contribute to the research, to use the research, and to have whether to have the glimpse of knowledge or really applied this applied this science to either business setting, or maybe you can use it on your own, something like that. So from the scientific side, we could see that AMRITA serves as the platform where the researchers join together, and then they contribute, interact with each other with the specifically what happens. Is this plant A really works for this kind of indication? Is it right in your place? Is it right in India? Is it right in America? Is it right in Indonesia or Thailand? Something like that. And then secondly, we would like to address the general public. So everyone, exactly, everyone could get the information about the medicinal plants. So either you use it as an individual or a group or a research group or a undergraduate research group or something like that. So it means to open all the data to become reliable and validated data. And then finally, our special group to be addressed is the investors, because of course, to develop a drugs to become a real drugs, we need investors. So we want that AMRITA become a place where the investor could look for potential projects, which medicine should they develop, which medicinal plants, or maybe the mixture of it seems to have the most benefit. well, both the efficacy of the medicine itself or to develop the business itself. So because it's important. Okay, sorry. And next. So and then talking about OLS, that's how we joined the program. Well, actually, we joined the program first, and then we thought about some topic, and then okay, maybe medicinal plants is somehow not being exposed to the others yet, and we are quite strong in medicinal plants when I'm talking about Southeast Asia, like Indonesia and Thailand. So we have that quite strong habit in medicinal plants. And the expectation when we join this program is we want to learn about openness. So medicinal plants, it's a bit difficult because sometimes it was translated in our own language because it couldn't really hit the high impact factor journal. It usually stands in the just a usual journals. And then we want to learn about the tools necessary for open projects. So what is open projects and what kind of tools that we can use. And of course, the most important, personally for me, is to get to know new people. So basically, I never met Yo, I never met Holger, I never met Malvika. So this is the first time, and we have emailed always like that. And somehow it's just very, I don't know, it's such a coincidence within this COVID-19. It's very fantastic, I think. Okay, so probably that's all the part from me. Would be happy that Ananya will continue the next.
Okay, thank you so much, David, for the introduction of how we get to know OLS. So for my part, I'll talk about our journey on OLS. So we started out with just ideas. And for us, David and myself, who are wet lab people, from ideas to prototypes, there seemed to be a winding road ahead of us for our journey. But luckily, we get to know more about roadmaps. We learn that we can break down our goals into smaller chunks of milestones, which we can accomplish one by one. And then next, please. One more time. Okay. And to talk about the tools necessary for open projects, so here we learn about GitHub. Before this, we are just like dummies for like programming and stuff. And here we learn how to use GitHub to like create our own repository, to like create pull requests, and to build our little web page. Here you can see the examples. This is David's exercise of his GitHub pages. And also we learn to manage our projects through the project board, which is quite, for us, it's quite amazing. And next, please. So our initial steps we took is that we first distributed our survey on AMRITA. So we wanted to know what people generally think about herbal medicines and whether this database will benefit them in any way possible, and what components do they expect from the database. So we are quite happy to learn that like half of the people think that herbal medicine can become like a real kind of drugs, and while the other half think they can be useful as adjunctive therapy. And nobody here, at least so far, think they are complete nonsense. So that's very exciting. And so, and more than half of them think that this database will benefit them in their research. So we asked about what kind of components do they expect to be on the database. And next, please.
Wait.
Okay. So according to the survey, things they want to see for the most of them want to see like a compilation of the latest studies on like herbal medicines, such as the kind of herbs and their active compounds and what can be, what kind of diseases do they can they be used to treat and what kind of pathogens. So we, for this survey answer, we think that maybe a kind of machine reading and text mining would very much be beneficial to help us gather these many pieces of information together. So we tried out some open software that allow us to like dig into the latest papers about this. And this is the example when we search antiviral plus herb, and you can see we can like achieve a kind of beautiful, beautiful networks about the keywords in the keywords of the studies in this field. However, so far we cannot like organize the information into what people want to see. Like you can see the name of the herbs, the name of the compounds, and the name of the pathogens, but they are all mixed together, and we want to organize them in a easier way for people to explore like each and every of them. And so far we haven't been able to achieve that, and we thought that we are at our dead end and we don't know what to do next. Then next slide, please. Then we realized that the essence of openness is not about working alone, trying to build something and let people like use your resources. It's about like coming together and trying to build something. So right now for AMRITA, we think that instead of trying to build the database itself, we can start by like welcoming more people, hearing from them what they want and what their ideas. And also we are welcoming like people who are more advanced in software programming, especially natural language processing, which is like alien language to us. And yeah, so if anybody's who are listening to our presentation and are interested to become a part of us, you can like, whether you are just somebody who passed by and want to like join us, you can drop us, you can help us fill out a survey, like what you want to see in our database. Or if you want to like keep in contact to hear from us, you can also like fill your contact information to like receive like email updates for us. Or if you are a software programmer, then just email us. We will be ready to welcome you. So, and next slide, please. So finally, we would like to thank our mentor, Dr. Hobart Dinkle, who has been very, very supportive for us and very kind, patient, and helping to help us along this journey. And we thank Open Life Science, the organizing committee, and the Open Seats, who have carried us. I know you are working very hard to like carry us all the way here. And we also would like to thank our universities, Mahidol University and Osaka University. And that concludes our presentation, and any comments and suggestions are welcome.
Nice, well done.
So I will first say amazing, really great, and I really like how you recognize that it's not a dead end. Of course, yo, I can't hear you.
Me too. I think you got problem with the microphone.
Oh no, we don't hear you.
We couldn't hear anything.
Okay, but do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
perfect. So you can add in the chat. Yeah, so can I ask a couple of questions?
Sure.
Just
Sure.
from your experience, how easy was it to get support on using the software that you were using for the text mining and getting started with machine learning on your data? Did you start on your own or did you get help from people?
So for this part, most of the resources came from YouTube, actually. and from conversations with friends. So like when I saw like there are announcement for grants application, and I like to look at what kind of things that people want, and like text mining has been like very hot right now. So I was like, what is it? And I followed natural language processing, and yeah, so that's how I got some of the information.
I think you're in the right track. I think that's definitely the direction that your project will gain a lot from, because you're working with data which is unsupervised in a way, and you need to learn a little bit more about it. And I cannot give expertise advice, but I think you're in really good direction. And the way you ended your presentation was so, in a way, hopeful, in the sense that I see that a lot of people can get very disappointed that I've hit the dead end, but the reality is that you've actually figured out where to grow your community from, because you have like experts who can really join in to help you out, because you've already created a foundation. Yo, can you try your microphone again?
Testing. Does it work?
Yes, that's right.
Amazing. I
that
don't
was
know.
that was the only question that I had. So you, if you have any questions.
I missed Marika's question, so I hope I'm not repeating anything. I had 3 things that I noted down because it was a really great presentation. I really loved it. So first of all, the way everything was presented, it was gorgeous. The slides were beautiful, they were clearly explained, and then gave some real world examples of herbs that actually provide medicine that like probably many, if not everyone who sees this is going to be familiar with. So it made it really relatable, which I thought was amazing. One thing I wondered, you're talking about the different stakeholders that were involved, like that there might be clinicians and wet lab folks and investors and public. Have you made any efforts to ensure that there's safety? So that's something I would worry, is if someone says foxglove could be a treatment for heart conditions, if they go and eat a bunch of foxglove, they'll not be in a good way.
Okay.
Maybe David can add on that because he's the pharmacist.
Yes, related to the safety, of course, that's a very important part of the herbal medicines, and it matters with the dose in the end. So as for our project, we should pick up the trusted paper, and of course we will have like the level of recommendation, like maybe the color recommendation or something like that. So it will depend on that basically. And probably there are also some plants likely in the futures that only exhibit, and we call it in vitro activity. So it's only works in a cell. So that probably has the lowest evidence levels, and it probably, and then the next level will be on the preclinical, which is on the animals, and then the last one, of course, in humans. So probably that's how we're going to stage the level of the safety. Is it answering? Yeah, I hope. Is it clear?
So I think, yeah, it sounds like you've got different ideas of the different stages that stuff could be used, I guess. I think it might be nice to see like planning, like, for example, if this is an online open database, make it clear that you shouldn't be administering things yourself based on guesses or something, but yeah.
It should be like that. We need to put the color code or something that can be easily recognized.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great idea.
Also, like, just to echo, because I think you also deals a lot with ethical aspects of research. So if you need like a little bit starting point, you should really reach out to us again, because it's really important, mostly because as you said, there are people who would use medicinal herbal medicine like it's their only resort, versus some people will be very skeptical about it. So I think it's really important to have ethical aspect added into it, and some disclaimers about what is actually verified versus not. And as you just said, that the color coding will really help, that this is clinically approved or this is still under research or whatnot. And you might need a little bit more help on like gaining support in getting this database going. And therefore, if you need help and anywhere we can support you in amplifying your voice, let us know. And to that, I think you really did a great job in this 15 months. This is just really, really thoughtfully done project, in my opinion.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Amazing. The other thing I wanted to add myself was that I thought the call to action at the end was really good. So you said, so first of all, we tried this, we got this really beautiful graph, and then but what next? And you've identified the types of people that you might want involved, and you said, please, come help us out. And I thought that was the perfect way to wrap up a presentation like this. So here's what we've done, here's where we're going, and here's how you can help. That is perfect. I just thought it was really nicely managed. Anything else you want to add, Malvika? Or?
It's the time for graduation.
Wow.
Wow.
So great job. I'm gonna give you all a round of applause. Very, very well done. We're very proud of you, and we're very happy to have you as our first graduate.
Delighted.
Thank you. And I mean, if we were to say how amazed we are with this project, it's gonna be like 30 minutes long, because after every meeting, I and David was like, we didn't know Zoom can do this. This is amazing. Something like that.
That's amazing. Holger, would you like to add something? Or should we stop recording before we go on?
I only want to add that I enjoyed these 15 weeks as well. So both of them were great mentees, and although this was like my first round of like complete remote mentoring somebody, like to say each and every one of our meetings was like also inspiring for me, because they both are very enthusiastic and very good mentees. There were several meetings when I was like blown away. I think I also mentioned it to you, Yo, and Malvika, how inspiring I found it to working with these guys. So yeah, thanks from my side.
Thanks to you, Holger. We couldn't make it without you. Like, we are like,
Yeah.
what's this? What's that? Like, it's amazing.
Amazing. Shall we stop with the streaming? Okay. Bye, stream friends, if there are any.